Hello everybody, welcome to another Planet Coaster episode on the channel. Today we will be starting to theme up the spinning coaster that we did build last episode. If you missed that, please feel free to skip off this video, go watch that one, and then come back to this one and see us theme it up. So, last episode, what we really did is we just built this kind of basic layout spinning coaster, nothing too crazy. I just wanted to build it as a nice family attraction that we can have in the park, because you know, at a theme park, not every ride is a thrill coaster with loads of inversions and crazy dives and turns. So I really just wanted to keep that true realistic essence and just build a nice family coaster that isn't too crazy. It's not going to have crazy theming. I'm not going to spend all the time in the world on it. I'm literally probably just going to do the main theming today, finish it up, build the area, probably off camera, and then show you guys probably in the next episode. So here, I just missed it. I hope you didn't if you're watching the gameplay. But I did build like the main plaza for the area where there'll probably just be maybe a flat ride if I could think of anything, and maybe just like a couple of stalls, but we're going way too fast. But here we are, building the station. I didn't really know what theme to go with for this ride, so I thought a nice looking old church building might fit the theme very well. You know, it kind of fits with the whole supernatural theme of Blackroot Vale that we are going for. So I thought a nice abandoned church helps incorporate the queue line very nicely into the ride, into the experience. You know, that's what it's all about. So I think that will look really nice, as you can see soon when it is done. But we're just putting in the main infrastructure right now for that path to go in. But it's just nothing too crazy, this ride. It's just going to be simply themed, just meandering through lots of trees and bushes and just nothing much really. We're just using it for throughput, as you can see, 3 cars on the track. Small basic layout as you've had glimpses of as I went round the track before. As you can see, the first bridge going in over that track, over the brake run. We do have to remove the catwalk actually, which you'll see in a minute because it has a lot of collision issues. This queue line is just a bit of a simple queue line, to be honest, nothing too crazy. Just, again, as I just keep saying, it's just a simple ride, you know. It's kind of just there for the throughput, just a bit realism to add to the park. Just a simple Cal Pen queue, you know. As I say, it's just simple, quite frankly. It's just nothing much. It's just there for the sake of it, kind of. So, yeah, really nothing much to say on that topic. As you can see, kind of just shortening this whole kind of making it closer to the track, kind of a near miss element, which is really nice on a lot of coasters because it really adds the essence of that kind of scary experience. But I do have to also edit the track here, just kind of add another little bend and twist and turn so it doesn't like go straight into the wall as it was. But yeah, it's just giving a lot. It reminds me a lot of Dragon's Fury at Chessington, but Dragon's Fury has a lot more high horseshoes rather than twists and turns, and it's also got Frazzle, is he called? The dragon? Yeah, he's been everywhere a lot, considering the fact he's been broken quite a bit, which people have not been happy about. And with this church, I kind of decided, you know what, a bit of a castle element to it. Add in all the, like, I don't know what you call them. I don't have a clue, but all, like, you know what I'm talking about when you see the top of a castle and it's got the whatever it's got on it. You know, just leave that to the medieval people. They know what they're doing. I clearly don't. But yeah, we're just really putting in some nice theming, just some nice little walls. I think I also used them for the top of Omen's kind of station and tower that is in that area, but they're like ruins and it helps like sell the effect of like broken kind of stone, rubble, and all in the kind of gap under there. Now it is in 5 times speed. The coaster does look really fast. I promise you it's not. It's just a simple spinning coaster. It doesn't really go too fast. The only thing I'm not too happy about is, I don't know why, but the operations just don't work. I don't know how to explain it, but why are all the coaster trains going at like the exact same time? Like, if you can see in the time lapse, like all 3 are just going at the same time and just like coming straight out of like the kind of station straight away. So if someone can tell me in the comments how that works, I'd really appreciate that, because I do not have a clue how that works, and it doesn't look very nice when they're all like coming in at the same time. And I assume once we get guests on it, it's going to be even worse. It's just going to be hell, probably. Like most things in a Tycoon game are when you don't know what's going on. But there we are, kind of finished with this bridge sort of element. I was just trying to figure out what to do with the roof, because I wasn't too sure if it was going to have a flat roof or a kind of angled, pitched roof. But I decided, you know what, we'll just continue with the medieval style castle building all around the kind of church, because I think it does look really nice, and it does give like that supernatural kind of old ancient theme, which we are kind of going for here, because that's the whole theme of Blackroot Vale and the main coaster in the area, Omen. Quite frankly, you wouldn't guess, would you? No way. But now the walls are going up for the station. You'll see the station building, it does kind of develop. That is the main focus of the episode, getting that main station building in, because a lot of it is just going to be talking about kind of, because it's just a lot just putting trees in and just simple stuff like that, because that's all this coaster was ever going to be. It wasn't going to be crazy. I didn't want to spend too long on it. As you can see, I've not spent about, I don't know, a day maybe, but like split over a few days, like 5 maybe, 4 hours of gameplay probably. But half it's just sat there thinking, because I know it sounds easy, but just to think of ideas, I don't know why, it's just boggles my brain. I just don't know what's going on. And this is the main focal point. This is what kind of makes it look like an old medieval church, this kind of tower that goes up. I just think it needed that oomph factor, because it wasn't really selling itself a lot. It was just like a flat building with a bridge over the track, it wasn't too special. So I thought I'll add this nice like turret kind of building on top, just make it look really nice, add that kind of focal point element. And I also lowered the roofs on the kind of entrance in and out of the station, because I feel like it gives it that more supernatural feel, because you're like really close to the bottom and you don't know what's going on, and not necessarily confusion, but like you're a bit scared, because it looks like you're going through a weird gap in the wall into the unknown, to put it into perspective. But I was trying to find a tree to go next to the station, because I just couldn't find a nice one to go next to it. Then I'm pretty sure in a second I find a nice one, a decent one, but I couldn't tell you, because I do not remember building half of this. I'm sat here right now at 9 o'clock, ready to go to sleep actually, and I'm just commentating on what's going on, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I do talk quite a bit, as you can see. If you haven't picked up from the other 2 episodes, if you haven't watched them, go watch them already. They're on the channel, free to watch. It's also free to subscribe, but I'm not going to be like that. Just do whatever you like. Thank you. I was also trying to put some vines in, just some nice vines, ivy kind of looking to the build, so it looks a bit more old, ancient, decrepit. You know the theme that I'm going for at this point. You've seen it throughout the entirety of Omen, when obviously you saw the walkthrough at the start, and as I was finishing it at the start of episode 2. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Simple as that. But I'm currently just looking through the scenery, looking through what we could put in, anything that would look nice against it. Currently just messing about with scaling for trees and all random stuff that, quite frankly, watching this back is quite boring, but it's the only gameplay we have, so we have to go with it. To be honest, yeah, I don't know what to say. What should we talk about? I know. Talk about the ride. So the ride is going to be themed. I was going to call it, I don't know the word yet, but it's the Latin word for spinning. Because it's going to be like an ancient curse. And it's going to be like taking over the ride in this like old church. And like they used to worship this like goddess in there. Or this god. And they like made sacrifices to it and stuff. And then they got this reward of torture. Just a normal day back in the 10,000, the 1400s, just a normal day in the 1400s, you know, that's what they believed in, and that's what the guests get to experience, you know. If there's any insurance claims, we're not paying out, that's all I'm going to say, so just don't die when you go on the ride. But yeah, just doing some simple rock work here and there, just trying to make the build as detailed as I possibly can without obviously going overboard, because I do not have the time for that. Do you think I have the patience? No, I don't. So I was just putting some rocks in, sort of just giving levels to everything, making sure everything looks nice for the area, making sure that it all fits in and looks really nice and fits the theme, which is the whole point of the ride, to fit the theme and be a nice ride. So I've accomplished that, which I'm happy about, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I'm just spending most of the time now, bushes, rocks, trees, you'll see, I'm just messing about. And I'll take this as an opportunity actually to discuss future areas in the park. Now, if you made it this far, this is a treat, because you have the opportunity to write in the comments what suggestions the themes I should put in the park. Should I do a western theme, a pirates theme, maybe even a custom theme, an Egyptian theme, maybe just something that you just thought up and thought, you know what, I think he'd be alright at that, let's just show it at him and see what he can do. Just put any suggestions in the comments, it all helps. I'll try get to it as soon as possible. I was thinking for coaster ideas as well, I was thinking we could have a B&M invert, would look really nice, like Nemesis Reborn at Alden Towers, Montu at Tampa Bay Busch Gardens, if I'm not mistaken, in America. And also I was thinking I really want a nice hybrid or wooden coaster. I don't know if to make hybrid coaster like Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay, or Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, or kind of a wooden coaster that has like crazy airtime. Like I just want like an airtime machine in the park. But then again, if we need an airtime machine, I could just try and build something like Shambhala at PortAventura World. Just building rides based off kind of themes and what we want for the park, because I want it to be a big park, all round park with everything. Like we have family coasters, thrill coasters, every flat ride you can imagine. Like, so just put your suggestions in the comments and I'll try and map/list it out, and like, so the series has a bit of direction, and obviously you can kind of know what's coming next, so you can maybe even give me more ideas and say about a specific theme rather than a general theme, which will be really nice, because I'd love the park not to just to be mine, but be built off other people's suggestions and like comments and ideas, because I think that'd just make it even better, like a great community effort, if you will. It'll make the park even nicer, and it'll be more rewarding, not just for me but for you guys, because it'll be also your hard work helping me think of the ideas, if that is hard work for some of you, and I'll try and make them as nice as I can. What kind of interests me actually is here, I was messing about with the scenery brushes, because do you think I was going to spend an hour just putting bushes down and recording it? No, I was not, if I do say so myself. I couldn't be bothered, it's not fun. So I thought, you know what, I'll try and make a custom scenery brush and try and just put it all about. And I did it in the end. Took me a bit of thinking, a bit of trial and error, but it worked in the end, and I got all these bushes about, and it really gives the feeling of being lost in this kind of abandoned forest, especially with like these little theming pieces I'm putting in here and there. Just trees, shrubs, like old ancient ruins of walls and just bits on the floor. I think I will go in kind of before the next episode when I record that, which will be, I don't know actually, could be starting a new area. If I get enough suggestions or ideas or something comes to me, that could be the next episode. But I think in between that I'll probably detail it a bit more, make it a bit nicer. Probably just detailing a lot, doing inside the station, doing like just all the plants and just little rocks and stuff that need to go in here and there, and making it all nice so you don't have to watch that me painstakingly half-heartedly do that for 2 hours, which I'm sure you wouldn't want to. Here actually is quite interesting. I tried to build this tower, which I thought would look really nice, kind of focal point when you're exiting, kind of around, and I wanted to put like a kind of canopy over it that goes over the track, but I couldn't really find anything that worked for it, and I thought, you know what, it's just going to be a rinse and repeat Omen theme, and I really didn't want to do that. So as you can see, I was looking at the tower, seeing if I could get anything from it, but I thought, you know what, it's a bit like boring, so I didn't really want to put that tower in. So I kind of just left it and went looking for some other scenery theming pieces, if you will. So here I'm just looking for more statues and stuff that could go on this church, castle type building, because I really didn't like, well I do now, but thought it was a bit bland, but now I've put all the trees in and stuff, the area actually looks a lot nicer because it kind of fits the theme that we're going for essentially. So yeah, just adding all these bushes with the brush that I made before. I'm looking at the coaster go past obviously, and really the rest of this video now is just rocks, trees, bushes, and like a couple of scenery pieces I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, as I said, I think I'm just gonna like finish the area with like little like trees and stuff in the next before the next episode, and then actually finish the area in the next episode and kind of open it up to the sort of guests. I nearly called them customers then, I don't know why I nearly called them customers, but anyway, as you can see, just putting a few trees in, just moving them about a bit, making sure they look nice and fit the area well, which all in all, we'd like all the area to fit together nicely, because that's the aim of what we're going for. So just adding a few trees here. I think in the next episode as well, we are going to do the inside of the station and kind of theme up the queue a bit better, I suppose, maybe, because the queue kind of boring other than like obviously going over the coaster with the castle, which actually does look really nice if I do say so myself. But as you can see, it is kind of a bit repetitive gameplay, but that kind of what happens in this area, in the sense that you're just putting trees down and making it look nicer with all the trees and stuff. And yeah, I would say that's about it. But we are coming to the end of this video now, within just finishing up this theming bush, kind of lining the queue. So what I will say is, make sure you subscribe, Make sure you watch the other episodes if you haven't. Make sure you put notifications on so you can hear when the next episode is coming out. Make sure to put suggestions in the comments for any rides, themes, ideas that you want me to do or review or anything like that. And we're at the end of the video now, so I'll say goodbye, see you in the next one.